Are you guys ready for scene 6? So we are going back to the good guys, although not the terribly sane ones. So we've got Edgar, who's pretending to be insane Tom. We've got the fool who makes his living being insane. We have King Lear, who seems to be quickly losing his grip on reality and saying things that don't make much sense. And then, of course, the last time we saw Lear, he was trying to strip naked. Yeah, that was awkward. And then poor Kent. Like, seriously, dude, find a better best friend because this group, not great. And they are all on Gloucester's land because remember, when King Lear went running out saying, "Oh, I'm gonna if my daughters won't let me keep my 100 knights, I'm going to go out and live in the wilderness." And so that all took place at Gloucester's house. So they're still on Gloucester's land and at a hovel that one of the poor people that worked for Gloucester would have at one point lived in. So that's where we are starting. So Gloucester gets our opening line. "Here it is better than the open air. Take it thankfully. I will piece out the comfort with what addition I can. I will not be long from you." All the power of his wits have given way to his impatience. "The gods reward your kindness." And he goes off. Fra Toretto calls me and tells me Nero is an angler in the lakes of darkness. Pray, innocent, and beware the foul fiend. Woo. "Prithee, nuncle, tell me whether a madman be a gentleman or a yeoman." "A king! A king! Oh, you want to know what a madman is? That's me. That's me. A madman is a king." Probably should have not jumped in there, but no, he's a yeoman that has a gentleman to his son, for he's a mad yeoman that sees his son a gentleman before him. To have 1,000 with red burning spits come hissing upon him. The foul fiend bites my back. He's mad that trusts in tameness of a wolf, a horse's health, a boy's love, or a whore's oath. It shall be done. I will arrange them straight. Come, sit thou here, most learned justicer. Now, sapient sir, sit there. Now, you she-foxes. So we keep seeing Lear refer to Edgar as a learned man, a philosopher, now a justicer. So even though Edgar is like dressed only in a loincloth, dirty, and raving about demons being out to get him, King Lear is like, "Oh, you're the brilliant one. I want to hear what you have to say," which tells you he's not gripping well with reality. "Look where he stands and glares. Wantest thou eyes at trial, madame? Come over the bourne, Bessie, to me." Her boat doth leak, and she must not speak. Why, she dares not come over to you. The foul fiend haunts poor Tom in the voice of a nightingale. Hop, dance, cries in Tom's belly, for 2 white herring croak not, black angel, for I have no food for thee. How do you, sir? Stand not so amazed. Will you lie down and rest upon the cushions? I'll see their trial first. Bring in the evidence. Trial? What trial? Earlier, he called Tom a justicer, suggesting that, that he is like a judge, but pretty sure there's no trial here, but okay. King Lear turns to Edgar. Thou robed man of justice, take thy place. He's mostly naked, so we definitely don't have robes. And he's acting crazy, so he's definitely not a judge. Which tells you Lear, he just completely slipped off the reality train. He then turns to the fool. And thou, his yoke fellow of equity, bench by his side. He then turns to Kent. You or the commissioner, sit you too. Let us deal justly. Sleepest or wakest thou, jolly shepherd? Thy sheep be in the corn, and for one blast of thy minikin mouth, thy sheep shall take no harm. Purr, the cat is gray. Arraign her first. 'Tis Goneril. Here I take my oath before this honored assembly. She kicked the poor king, her father. Come hither, mistress. Is your name Goneril? Now, clearly the fool knows Goneril is not standing there, but remember, it's his job to kind of entertain the king and to make fun of people. And since Lear is now having delusions and thinks his daughter's in the room and he's putting her on trial, Fool's just going to go with it and play the part. Come hither, mistress. Is your name Goneril? She cannot deny it. Cry you mercy, I took you for a joint stool. And here's another whose warped looks proclaim what store her heart is made on. Stop her there. Arms, arms, sword, fire, corruption in the place. False justicer, why hast thou let her escape? He thinks Regan, who he calls a woman with warped looks, that she's escaped. And he's like, oh my gosh, Tom, how can you let her out? Bless thy 5 wits. Oh, pity. Sir, where is the patience now that thou so oft have boasted to retain? Edgar is now kind of off to the side talking to himself. My tears begin to take his part so much they'll mar my counterfeiting. The little dogs and all, Tray, Blanche, and Sweetheart, see, they bark at me. Tom will throw his head at them. Avaunt, you curs! Be thy mouth or black or white, tooth that poisons if it bite, mastiff, greyhound, mongrel, grim, hound or spaniel, brack or limb, or bobtail, tyke or trundle-tail. Tom will make them weep and wail, for with throwing thus my head, dogs leap the hatch and all are fled. Do-dee-dee-dee-do, sa-sa, come march to wakes and fairs and market towns. Poor Tom, thy horn is dry. Then let them atomize Regan. See what breeds about her heart. Is there any cause in nature that makes these hard hearts? Oh, Lear. He thinks that there's something like biologically wrong with his daughters. He's like, hey, can we dissect them and cut them down to the atoms? And can science tell me why my daughters are so hard? Because, there's no other reason. It couldn't possibly because I was a crap father and didn't listen to people who knew better. No, we've got to look to science for answers. Yeah. Okay, Lear is now going to talk to Edgar. You, sir, I entertain for one of my 100. Only I do not like the fashion of your garments. You will say they are Persian attire, but let them be changed. Yeah, because he's mostly naked. So Lear finally noticed that. Now, good my lord, lie here and rest a while. Make no noise. Make no noise. Draw the curtain. So. We'll go to supper in the mornings. So. And I'll go to bed at noon. Here comes Gloucester. Come hither, friend. Where is the king and my master? But here, sir, but trouble him not. His wits are gone. Good friend, I prithee, take him in thy arms. I have overheard a plot of death upon him. There is a litter ready. Lay him in it and drive towards Dover, friend, while thou shalt meet both welcome and protection. Who's in Dover? The French with Cordelia. So he's trying to send Lear to Cordelia. Take up thy master. If thou shouldst dally half an hour, his life with thine and all that offer to defend him, stand in assured loss. Take up, and follow me, that will some provision give thee quick conduct. Oppressed nature sleeps. This rest might yet have balmed thy broken senses, which if convenience will not allow, stand in hard cure. He then turns to the fool. Come, help to bear thy master. Thou must not stay behind. So the fool is known for being loyal to Lear. So Kent is like, if they're going to kill Lear, they're going to kill you. We got to all get out of here. Come, away. And all of them leave. They except Edgar. And of course, we always pay attention when characters are on stage by themselves, because that's when they don't have to play a part. That's when they get to tell us what they're really thinking. When we, our betters, see bearing our woes, we scarcely think our miseries our foes. Who alone suffers most in the mind. Leaving free things and happy shows behind. But then the mind much sufferance doth overskip, when grief hath mates, and bearing fellowship. How light and portable my pain seems now, when that which makes me bend makes the king bow. He childed as I fathered. Tom, away. Mark the high noises, and thyself bewray, when false opinion, whose wrong thought defiles thee, in thy just proof repeals and reconciles thee. What will hap more tonight? Safe scape the king. Lurk. So he's like, wow, I thought I was screwed. I thought I had it bad, but you know what? Other people have it just as bad, and maybe I should stop feeling sorry for myself. That's a good thought. Although it would also be nice if maybe you weren't as naive and idiotic. But we'll work on one personality flaw at a time. So that is the end of scene 6. We have one more scene. And then Act 3 is over. All the characters will be in place, and we'll get to start seeing how everything ends up. See you soon.